What's up guys, it's Cameraman Duran and I'm back again with another review. This time I got the chance to see a show called The Patient. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. And also, before I get started, I wanted to make a quick shout out to Disney. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's really a privilege to be able to see shows and films early and be able to review them and do this for, our fans and stuff. So again, thank you very much, and I really hope to continue growing this relationship.
Thank you, Jesus!
The show stars Steve Carell, which we all know and love, and he's joined by Domhnall Gleeson, which you might know him best by his roles in Peter Rabbit 1 and 2.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And I don't know, he might have a major role in Star Wars or something like that.
He's insane.
The Patient is about a man named Sam. And Sam struggles with compulsions that cause him to commit murders for hardly any reason at all. However, the slight sliver of conscience left inside of him pushes him to kind of find help, seek therapeutic help, and this is when he comes in contact with Dr. Alan Strauss, who is a Jewish therapist played by Steve Carell. When I first learned that Steve Carell was going to be thrown in yet another serious role, I was already sold.
It's Britney, bitch.
But then to throw in Domhnall Gleeson into the mix, it's like, how could you possibly get a better show than that? The icing on the cake, if you will. I loved seeing these two on my screen together, more than I thought I would initially. They have such a great dynamic together, and not just as great actors, but as a serial killer and his therapist. If there was one thing in this entire show that I could say really truly kept 110% of my interest, it would be the anticipation of their therapy sessions. I feel like with each session, more of the oniony kind of layer was pulled back and more of the story was revealed, more of Sam's trauma was revealed, and it was all becoming full circle, and I loved that. Every session was so cool. Such an interesting kind of story, the way to tell the story, I guess you could say, but I loved it. I really did. With all the twists and turns and all the emotionally distressing moments, this was an incredible psychological thriller. I would say in the beginning, the show is definitely a slow burner. You're getting your characters, you're getting your story. It's kind of all unfolding with each episode that comes by, which wasn't my favorite thing in terms of like the pacing. But after kind of watching it all through, I understand why it was necessary, and I kind of gained a little more of appreciation for it. But on that note, that's kind of also what I liked about it, just in terms of the suspense and it giving us time to kind of internalize what we've seen and reflect on it. And that's honestly what a psychological thriller is. It's something that makes you think, something that makes you feel something internally and kind of figure out what's going on in the other person's head, essentially. But when this show picks up, it picks up. Honestly, this show is just tailored to a specific audience, I feel like. And if this is your thing, if psychological thrillers is your thing, then this might be the show for you. Each episode's about 30 minutes or less, but it gives you just enough story in each episode to kind of get you to lean in for the next one. Overall, I would give The Patient a 4.5 out of 5. I loved the story. I loved the performances, and I base a majority of my ratings on whether or not a film or a series was successfully able to communicate its point. And I think this show was able to execute that almost beautifully. I loved how they did it. The 0.5 for me would really just be in terms of the pacing. Again, it wasn't my favorite thing, but nonetheless, I appreciated it. The Patient premieres on August 30th, and I highly recommend this watch, as I probably will be giving this a second watch myself. Now, if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more of me on this channel, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And don't be too shy to hit that subscribe button for more weekly content made for the fans, by the fans. Also, before you go, be sure to check out the Agents of Fandom podcast hosted by my buddies Garrett and TJ, where they cover all things film and fandom. You can find them anywhere you find your podcasts. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.